Good morning. This is Debbie Davis. It is July 24th, 2025. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to try to call the courts here since they won't pick up the phone to request a remote hearing. If you can't make it, you can't make it. What are you going to do? Send a you know and on top of it, it's a fake charge. On top of it, it's called entrapment. They're trying to entrap me into going to their fake courts for a fake charge. And I filed a civil rights complaint already, a human rights complaint, and a police review board. And years ago I filed a complaint. Okay, and not a single agency has ever got back to me and followed up with my complaints against the police. Okay, does this sound like a fair way, a fair and balanced court system, or does this sound like we have a dictatorship happening here in Minnesota? It sounds like a dictatorship, communism, everything. Okay, so once again, like I said, I'm going to try to call the court. Court reminder. You can't. See, I don't know what they're doing, so you can't see my phone here, but it says court reminder. So hearing notice, please call the 612-348-6000 with questions. Well, that's the number I've been calling, and you don't pick up the phone. So does anybody even work at the courts anymore? And then, of course, that's going to be my fault that you don't pick up the phone, and then there'll be a warrant. Is that it? Is that fair, or is that called violating my rights?
Thank you for calling Hennepin County District Court. Para continuar en español, presione dos. Our contact center hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Answers to many questions related to filing fees, accessing court records, daily calendars, jury duty, and court forms can be found online at www.mncourts.gov/Hennepin. To pay a citation or to schedule an appointment with a hearing officer, press 1 and you will be directed to the Minnesota Court Payment Center. For information about a criminal expungement, press 3. For questions regarding marriage, birth, or death records, or to connect with a Hennepin County office, please hang up and call Hennepin County at 612-348-3000. For all other questions, press 4 to speak to the contact center staff.
I pressed 4.
Please wait while I transfer your call.
Okay, so the other thing I have going on this morning is that I got this bizarre message from somebody that's like renting here or whatever, that there's some nurse coming over. Okay, yes. My name is Debbie Davis. I have a court date tomorrow. I've been trying to get a hold of the courts.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm calling 612-348. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I'm calling the correct number, 612-348-6000. Are you saying you can't hear me? Hello? Okay, so now they're playing games with the audio. Okay, this is these criminals running these courts. Now they're gonna. Are you there? Hello, can you hear me? I can hear you. So clearly you can hear me. Are you just pretending like you can't hear me? Because I can hear you ruffling papers. So they're pretending like they can't hear me. Okay, let's call back. Okay, so this is the third time I've had to call. Okay, you already wasted an hour of my time, and it was a fake charge on top of it. So let's just find out who runs these courts. Who oversees the courts in Minnesota? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's ask that question. Clearly, they're criminals. That would be the Minnesota Supreme Court has the overall responsibility for overseeing the judicial branch, including the courts. Chief of Justice of Supreme Court serves as the administration head of the entire judicial branch. Okay. Okay. State Court Administrator Jeff Shorba took office 2012. Okay. Ton Dorgerson. Yeah, okay, so let's see who oversees the courts. So the Minnesota Supreme Court oversees these criminal courts. So there must be criminals because, clearly we can't get any justice here. So, and then I had also tried contacting the Department of Public Safety before. I had made a phone call when we were first starting to see all of these unmarked sheriffs and unmarked cops around. I tried reporting it to the Department of Public Safety, and they as well didn't get back to me. Okay, so let's try calling them again. I already called them and made an official report already. And they never got back to me. And then what happened after that? Maybe these shootings could have been prevented. It was an unmarked cop that went to Melissa Hortman's residence at 2 a.m, pretended to be a cop, so she opened the door. So you would think that you would, and then they shot her to death. And I had already made multiple complaints through the Police Review Board, Department of Public Safety. I made multiple videos of these unmarked cops, and this all could have been prevented if somebody would have taken this seriously. So the entire department that's involved in not doing their job is involved in this. Okay, so I'm trying to call Department of Public Safety. My phone's not working. You see, this is you'd be stuck, man. If we don't do something right now, we're not going to have a state or an entire country left with these type of people running this state. I mean, Minnesota used to be a really nice state until these people started ruining our state. I mean, it really did. I mean, and we have beautiful lakes, beautiful parks. I mean, there's a lot of good things about this state. We just don't have good leadership here right now at all. I mean, they're scary. And they started moving in and getting rid of all the good people. It started under Obama. Okay, I can't make this phone call to the department of, the phone's not working. They won't let me. Okay, let's call these dumb courts again. Or what about the prosecutor? See if she can get a message to the court.
State Public Safety. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30
That's not the number I called.
4 p.m.
I called
For
Bella.
motor vehicle or driver's license information, press 1. For the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, press 2. For State Patrol, press 3. For alcohol and gambling enforcement, press 4. For traffic safety, press 5. For internal affairs and affirmative action, press. The person you are trying to reach is currently unavailable.
This is the same thing that happened to me last time. The Department of Public Safety, they don't pick up their phones.
When you have finished,
and I had left a message.
Press the pound key for more options.
And they never got back to me. Yes, my name is Debbie Davis. I had left a message before regarding these unmarked cops that I've tried to report multiple times as to why you have unmarked cops in Minnesota and unmarked sheriffs, and a lot of them don't have any decals at all that are completely illegal. So I'm wondering if somebody can back to me why these are being allowed to be on our streets, especially with the shooting that happened. So I'm leaving a message for the Department of Public Safety again, as to why they are allowing these unmarked vehicles.
To accept and set message options, press 1. To send now, press the pound key. To message sent.
Okay, so I just left a message for them again. This isn't the first time. I'd already reached out to them. I have a video recorded, already calling them from a few months back. Okay, so we'll try the courts again, see what they have to say. And then the other thing I have going on this morning is out of nowhere, they said there was this thing that went around saying somebody's calling a nurse or something to come over here, but then they said they wouldn't say who the nurse is coming to see. And I said, okay, I'm confused. Why is the nurse coming over here? Because there's a whole VA scandal going on here, where, the VA, they're finding that these VA employees are getting incentives to abuse veterans, and on top of it, there's a fake nurse scandal going on in multiple hospitals here and at the VA. And so I said, well, I don't, because they said a male nurse is coming over. Oh, okay. Like, well, and then, but it was like the landlord lady. And I was like, well, I don't feel comfortable with being around any nurse. Why are they coming over? And she wouldn't tell me. And it's just like, okay, I don't have to be around here when there's a fake nurse coming over and you won't even tell me what it's about. Especially with this scandal going on right now. And so that's the thing that happened to me this morning. And the other night I saw a bunch of like ambulances and different things like that, and they're like of course they're Masons, and they all meet. They were like meeting around the block. They do this is part of the targeted individual program, and the EMS are involved, and they create reasons to try to make you look like you're crazy. But I mean, my story has been documented for years and years and years now with credible sources, and I mean, it's just like they just make themselves look so stupid, and then you have a legitimate VA scandal going on right now. It's unbelievable what they will try to get away with, and that's why these people are very, very dangerous. But it doesn't seem to matter what state. I mean, Texas is terrifying. Idaho turned out to be terrifying. Vegas, was fine at first. Then I had that dumb thing happen with my dog in Henderson, Nevada. It's an overall national thing. I'm on a national database just because I filed a complaint at a military base, and that's gone on 12 years. I mean, when is this going to end? The military is just like how can you do this to a military personnel? And the military is the one who's protecting this country. So who's going to protect you when you need help? Okay, so.
Thank you for calling Hennepin County District Court. Para continuar en español, presione dos. Our contact center hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4:30
They're playing
p.m.
games. I already know they're not going to pick up or
Many
something. They're just going to be like,
filing fees, accessing court records,
I mean, it's
daily
ridiculous.
calendars, jury duty, and court forms can be found online at www.mncourts.gov/Hennepin. To pay a citation or to schedule an appointment with a hearing officer, press 1, and you will be directed to the Minnesota Court Payment Center. For information about a criminal expungement, press 3. For questions regarding marriage, birth, or death records, or to connect with a Hennepin County office, please hang up and call Hennepin County at 612-348-3000. For all other questions, press 4 to speak to the contact center staff.
Isn't that what I just did before? Press 4. Okay, there's a contact center. They're supposed to pick up. She pretended like she couldn't hear me before. Oh boy. See what games they're going to play right now.
Hennepin County Court, may I help you?
Can you hear me this time?
I can hear you.
Okay, I just tried calling and you couldn't hear me apparently, or you were pretending to not hear me.
Well, it wasn't me that couldn't hear you, so how can I help you today?
Well, I've been trying to get a hold of the court for days, and I have no way of attending this court date tomorrow. I have no way of attending, and I don't feel safe, especially in lieu that I got pulled over. This involves an unmarked cop that had no decal at all, and especially in lieu of the shootings that just happened in Minnesota with an unmarked vehicle. I don't feel safe going into any of your courtrooms. So how can we handle this?
Okay, I was looking at the caller ID. Is this Deborah?
Yes.
Okay, so Deborah, what I'm going to have to do is get you over to our Brookfield court. If you can hold on one moment, okay?
Well, last time you tried transferring me, they never picked up the phone. So then what happens if they don't pick up the phone? Is there going to be a warrant for my arrest if they don't pick up the phone?
Deborah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them to the call to make sure that they answer. And once they do, then I will leave the call, okay?
Okay, well, yeah, because
if they don't answer, then I'll come back on the line.
Yeah, because last time when you did this, they didn't answer, and so if I don't contact them, then there could be a warrant, and I'm doing my part to contact, but you're not doing your part there to contact, and then you're gonna ruin my life with a warrant.
Deborah, it wasn't me that you spoke with initially.
Well,
so
you need. I'm making sure you're all held accountable, because there's been 233 murders in the state by the police because of your incompetence at the courts. Because you put out fake warrants. And then you have people pulled over like Ricky Cobb, and then you have us murdered. So you want to be charged with murder? Because Ricky Cobb was murdered on a fake warrant. Yeah, I know what's going on here. Way more than you think.
Deborah, just a moment.
I'll charge these assholes with attempted murder. Yes, I've been trying to get a hold of the Brooklyn court, your court, for a couple days now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to,
How can I help?
I have a court date tomorrow that I cannot attend for multiple different reasons. And I've tried to address these reasons through every single review board of the police that you could possibly try. And nobody has gotten back to me and addressed my concerns that I have here. And this is a fake charge, and this is entrapment. They're trying to entrap me to go to court for a fake charge. I already know what's going on here. I don't feel safe because it was a completely unmarked sheriff with no decals at all. And you think I'm going to go in the courtroom with an unmarked sheriff after the shootings that just happened here? And you expect me to feel safe in your courtroom? You got another thing coming.
So, and I'm sorry, do you have a case file number, or what time are you scheduled for tomorrow?
Tomorrow at...
I can take your name.
Tomorrow at 2:30.
Okay, and then what is your full name, please?
Deborah Davis.
Okay, and your date of birth as well.
1/22/71.
Okay.
How many times do I have to give this information? They're so incompetent. It's unbelievable.
Yep, I'm sorry. Yeah, I gotta look it up so I make sure I'm
well, I mean, you waste so much of my time on these fake charges that it's added up to like half of my life at this point. I mean, it's so many hours of abuse, your abuse of using your police officers and your courts to abuse people, that it's like, it's crimes against humanity. It's attempted murder. Let's just keep adding up the charges of your negligence.
So you'll be able to make arguments to, the city in front of the judge, because it's a court trial. I know the city will try to resolve it with you before proceeding to court trial.
Well, I can't make it to the court physically. I can't physically make it. So what are my options?
Gotcha. Yep. So you can request a continuance.
Request a continuance.
And that'll have to get passed along. Yep. I'll need the judge's approval to get you a new date.
Mm-hmm. Well, what if the judge doesn't approve it? Because these judges here don't like me, and it's been an issue for 10 years. So what if the judge doesn't approve it? Then is there going to be a warrant?
That they do have the right to issue a warrant. They also do have the right to convict you of the petty misdemeanor charges.
Just because I can't make it to your fake court date on a fake charge. So and you think this is a legal proceeding? It sounds like a dictatorship. It was a fake charge with a unmarked sheriff with no decals at all. That's 100% illegal at all. I tried reporting it to the Department of Public Safety. I tried reporting it to the police board, and I tried reporting it to Civil Rights and Human Rights Office. And because I can't make it to the court date, the judge has the right. I'm just going to make this clear to everybody listening. So the judge and what's the judge's name that has my case?
Judge's name is Thomas Conley.
Thomas Conley.
Conley. Yep.
Okay. And how long has he been a judge in Minnesota?
That I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that should be public record too.
Okay. And so when do I find out this information if he's gonna put a warrant illegally in my name? Am I gonna just be pulled over someday? Because that's what they've done before.
So we're gonna give you a call back.
Oh, really?
We're gonna give you a call back once the judge has time to review your request.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what's a good phone number to reach you back at?
Because I can show him evidence of how many complaints I've filed in every one of your agencies that's supposed to work in our favor, and that nobody has ever gotten back to me for my very serious complaint. And on top of it, they're withholding evidence of him even illegally pulling me over to begin with no decals or anything. The prosecutor office won't provide me the footage, so that's illegal. I'm requesting, a continuance or whatever needs to happen so I don't get a warrant. But in the past, they've just issued warrants on fake charges and then you don't even know about it. That's what happened to Ricky Cobb, and then he lost his life over that. Did you know that? Yeah, that's what happened. Same thing here. What I'm going on here happened to Ricky Cobb. He didn't even know he had a warrant because nobody did their job in the courts and let him know. And then he's just driving, and it's all of a sudden you get this police officer behind you, and all of a sudden they say you have a warrant because you're not doing your jobs there. And then all of a sudden we get pulled over and we get shot to death. Isn't that interesting?
So we're
how that works?
Call back with what the judge decides.
Okay, yeah. Then if he doesn't,
phone number I have.
Then if he decides that he's gonna put a warrant, then what happens? Just because I couldn't make it to his court date because it's called entrapment, then what happens?
We're gonna let you know what the judge decides. Okay?
And when is he gonna call me?
As soon as he has a moment to review your request. Okay.
And will that be today?
So as soon as we're done on the phone.
Will that be today before the court date, or am I gonna still have a problem tomorrow?
I'm sure, actually, I don't know entirely for sure when he's going to have time to review it.
Well, the court date's tomorrow, and I've been trying to call since Monday.
And he's going to see, at least he's going to see that a request for continuance has been entered when the court trial happens, when he's looking at the calendar for the court trial, he will see that you requested a continuance. So,
okay.
At least, when it comes tomorrow, you'll see that you requested a continuance.
Okay.
The phone number I've got for you is 651-767-2892.
Yes.
And then what would you like me to let the judge know for a reason that you can't make?
I cannot physically make it there for car reasons. And second of all, I can't, I don't feel safe going into the courtroom because of so many people that have died within the jails and by the police in Minnesota. And second of all, third of all, it was an unmarked cop. And I've tried reporting this unmarked cops in our area to the public safety board, and they never got back to me. And it was a completely unmarked cop with no decals of any kind, and he illegally pulled me over out of nowhere. It's a false charge, and they are withholding the footage from me from the state. And so I don't feel safe going into your courtroom when you've already proven that you're willing to do criminal behavior against me and withhold evidence. I don't feel like I'm going to get a fair trial, and I don't feel safe going into a courtroom where there's going to be an unmarked sheriff with no decals, because that's against the Department of Public Safety laws. Get it? Are we clear?
Yeah. Yep, I am.
Okay, so, and especially after four officials just got shot to death. And you think I'm going to feel safe going into a courtroom with an unmarked cop?
Understandable.
Okay, really?
Very
You think?
understandable.
You think it's reasonable? Yeah, I think so too.
So for departments that you've contacted, did you possibly try the Legal Rights Center?
I've gotten nothing but the runaround from Civil Rights Office, the Police Review Board. I filed a complaint with Michelle Phillips' office. The Civil Rights said it didn't fall under race, whatever, or something like that. Then the Human Rights Board just never got back to me. And I left 2 messages now with the Department of Public Safety of all of this police harassment and these unmarked cops. And nobody's doing their job. And we're trying to figure out get to the bottom of why the courts and the police are killing 233 people in Minnesota. They've gotten away with it.
The Legal Rights Center?
I don't know. What's that number? Who is that?
Legal Rights Center is it's a board of attorneys that work there, and yet they provide advice over the phone and online and in person. And they've got an office downtown Minneapolis.
Okay, what's their number? I can try.
Like.
What's their number?
Yep. It'll be 612-337-0030.
Okay. All right, I can try calling them, but so far all of your agencies have never gotten back to me, and so that's criminal negligence, because this is a criminal matter, right? Criminal. So that's criminal. It falls under criminal negligence.
This is a traffic matter because
the prosecutor office told me that the wireless charge falls under criminal. I just was on the phone with her the other day. Mm-hmm. So this would be criminal negligence because it's a criminal matter.
Just from my experience, when cases go to court trial, they have to be considered tickets as petty misdemeanor offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get
this should be it should be a petty
misdemeanor as well.
What's that?
So and like I mentioned earlier, when the court and the judge has the right to, and I should say, just really the judge has the right to convict you of a petty misdemeanor offense for a court trial if you fail to appear. That's only for petty misdemeanor offenses.
Mm-hmm.
They can't automatically convict you of a misdemeanor offense.
Okay.
To proceed to court trial, they had to amend them to a petty misdemeanor, at least the wireless communication device.
They amended it to a petty misdemeanor, and you said what now? How does that affect my?
And actually,
what are you saying?
I'm showing.
Because the Bella at the prosecutor office, she said it falls under criminal. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's what I was confused about, because I thought it should be it's a minor traffic thing. It's a minor traffic violation. It shouldn't fall under criminal. I don't, and that's where she told me the other day, and I was confused. What is it? What does it say on your end? Does it say it's just a petty?
So on my end, correct. On my end, it shows the fail to yield to emergency vehicle is petty, and the wireless communication device is also a petty.
And you're saying, and you're saying, there was a law that said they can't do what now? The judge can't do what with a petty?
We can't automatically convict you of a misdemeanor. We can only automatically convict you of a petty misdemeanor for a failure to appear to court on a petty misdemeanor ticket offense.
Okay. So what's the difference between a petty misdemeanor and a misdemeanor? Okay. Oh, so like it looks a lot worse on your record.
Jail time and a higher fine.
Oh yeah. I don't even know what he's talking about for failed to yield. I pulled over immediately when I saw him behind me, and that's a false charge. If they would show the footage and allow me to see the footage, then we all could see that. I pulled over right away, but they're withholding the evidence, and that's illegal. I've requested the evidence 6 times.
Yeah.
I requested it on the first court date, and you could clearly see that one I pulled over right away if they would have released the footage. And so that the first one needs to be just dropped. If the judge is any kind of a judge, then he could clearly see the footage that I pulled over right away, drop that charge. Second of all, I'm sorry, this officer had no decal and is completely illegal to begin with. So, I don't know why any kind of legitimate judge wouldn't just see this whole picture as just total police negligence, especially when I've already been trying to file multiple complaints with multiple agencies already about seeing, and other people in Golden Valley were filing complaints about this unmarked cop pulling people over as well, because we had never seen an unmarked cop in that area. Other neighbors were filing complaints too, but we didn't know, like we said, we just, we leave these messages to the Department of Public Safety. Nobody gets back to us. Who is overseeing the courts?
It'll be the judge, the prosecuting attorney, and then a defense attorney if you wish to hire one.
But who oversees these courts? Who oversees these? Who is overseeing the police in Minnesota?
So it's going to be more so of a legal question. So why I directed you to the Legal Rights Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so really I can just, get your continuance request
Mm-hmm.
put in, and then you're going to be able to bring all this up at your court trial. And it sounded like that you already had the prosecuting attorney's office contact information.
Yeah, it sounds like she gave me a bunch of wrong information already, and she didn't know what the hell she was talking about.
Oh.
She said it was a criminal.
Thing I was going to say was, do you want your case file number so you can look it up online as well?
Okay. What's the number?
So that'll be 27, V as in Victor, B as in Bravo, 24, 23, 7645.
Okay. Okay, so who is overseeing the courts in Minnesota? Is that the Minnesota Supreme Court, or?
So I know at least for if you're convicted or found guilty by a court trial, the appeal court process would be the next process.
No, I said who's overseeing the courts here, is what I said.
It's
Minnesota Supreme Court?
Like if you're talking about like day-to-day or...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. That is true.
Minnesota Supreme Court. Yeah, because we can't. This has been happening to multiple people. That's why people are getting shot by the police, because they have these fake warrants out. Because we can't get a hold. The courts are not doing the proper proceedings, so we can request a continuance. and we can't get the footage. They're withholding the evidence, and this is how people are getting murdered in the state of Minnesota by your system that is not working. Okay, so this is now falls under criminal attempted murder. Because if you put a fake warrant in somebody's, I could get pulled over and they could put a gun on me like they did Ricky Cobb. Huh?
We're gonna give you a call back, like I said before. We're gonna give you a call back.
I consider this attempted murder. I'm just letting you know, and I'm recording this, and I'm considering that you're all a part of attempted murder. Because you have proven that you have murdered people in the state of Minnesota. Dante Wright, that same thing happened to him. He was pulled over on a fake warrant, and he ended up dead. Ricky Cobb. Then we got the 2 rappers that died in Minneapolis, where a SWAT team came into their house in the middle of the night and killed them on a fake warrant. Okay, so now we got 4 murders on your ass.
Call back, okay?
Okay. I'm not playing any games with these people. Do not trust these people at all. Okay, so anyway, I'll try calling the Legal Rights Center and see what they have to say. But I mean, as you can see, you just can't get anywhere. You can't get anywhere, and then they try to act like you're the crazy one. There's so many murders here that we've just 233 murders. Oh, but we're the ones somehow that are not, doing our job, or not, we're somehow, in the wrong.